Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So it must be a day that ends in Y because we're dealing with another situation where Twitter users are treating fictional characters like real human beings and real human beings like they're garbage. Now this situation is going to involve the character Bonnie from One Piece, a character that many knew would eventually piss people off on places like Twitter for reasons I will explain now. So recently, back in November, it was revealed that Bonnie is actually 12 years old. Now, how is this going to cause a problem? Well, eventually people knew that there was going to be scenes sexualizing this character, like this bath scene that would be animated for the actual running One Piece anime, and that's exactly what happened 2 days ago. Now, here's the issue with reaction to this scene on Twitter. There is a very large presence of One Piece fans on Twitter. Unfortunately, a lot of them are antis, okay? They are the type to routinely cancel, harass, slander, and berate other users over fictional content. So when you couple the fact that this character is 12 and this bath scene was finally animated, you knew there was going to be problems, and that's exactly what's happening. People who are One Piece fans are now angry at One Piece and Toei Animation, and now there's even infighting amongst themselves, trying to cancel each other over this character. So here's one tweet saying, Toei had no shame. She's 12-year-old. I repeat, she's 12-year-old. Well, first of all, improve your grammar. And second of all, if you really believe this is a character who's 12 and problematic, why did you just post a montage of her topless? Like, that makes absolutely no sense at all. And as I'll say to this account and basically every other account in this video who claim to be One Piece supporters or they post a lot about One Piece, like, I'm assuming you're gonna stop talking about One Piece and stop consuming One Piece over this, right? Because you're so offended by this, I'm assuming you'll stop. Of course they won't. But here's, of course, the death threats. You knew this was coming. So this user said, trying so hard to sexualize a 12-year-old, they forgot to draw her effing arm. We gotta kill Toei animators. And this user replies, killing each one immediately. I can't take this anymore. Imagine being so termly online that a fictional character gets animated and it's so world-shattering to you that you have to kill people involved with its creation for you to be able to basically persist. I think you need to find another hobby. Go watch something else. Nothing like this should get you this upset. Here's another thread saying, and we gotta kill Oda for making her 12 in the first place. I think over time I've made probably 4 or 5 videos where people are giving death threats towards Oda, the creator of One Piece. It's absolutely insane the amount of negativity that is directed towards the creator by people who claim to be fans and will continue consuming this anime, by the way. Here's another tweet saying, Bonnie is originally 12 years old. Her devil fruit allows her to age up and down. She is still mentally 12. She is still 12. And I'm assuming you're going to stop consuming One Piece. All right. But anyways, I recognize this account for a reason, and it's not a very good one. So not that long ago, I covered this in a video. This was their reaction to a headline where a middle school boy was R-worded by their own teacher. And not to get too sidetracked here, there is a special place in hell for articles that use headlines like this where they use the term sex instead of the R word because the victim is a male. Just wanted to point that out. But that was their reaction. And then they liked tweets, again, basically making a joke out of this situation and this child being abused. This was this Twitter user's reaction to a real-life child being abused. But this is their reaction to a fictional character being sexualized, saying this user needs to be locked up over their comments about Bonnie. Yeah, these people are absolute clowns. I guess we're not surprised by that, but here's just a glaring example of their hypocrisy and how they treat fictional characters better than they treat real-life human beings. But of course, an interesting development would take place where an artist would come forward and say, participated as a key animator in One Piece 1090. I hope you enjoyed Bonnie's scenes. Now, I'm sure people are going to have very level-headed, reasonable reactions to this. Well, as Chibi Reviews would point out here with this tweet saying, people harassing a One Piece animator over a fictional character. They treat actual people like garbage and fictional characters as if they were real. Let's take a look at some of these quote retweets. This user said, Epstein disciple, a hilarious joke that's totally not overused and absolutely oversaturated on Twitter. These people have absolutely no idea what Epstein was known for. He was known for conducting and running an island dedicated to sex trafficking children. He was not a key animator for One Piece, and comparing the two is absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know how any of these people think this stuff is funny. Here's another one saying, "You are proudly posting out here as if you did some noble act, effing creep, praying the worst of the worst happens to you. When Oda goes to hell, you going deeper." Anyone who wishes this sort of harm on other people over stuff like this, sociopaths. That's all I can say. Here's another one, of course, with more death threats saying, "You should be beat with large rocks and a hammer." Okay? But anyways, the artist would take this in stride and would make an absolute Giga Chad response to all this, saying also, for the sexualizing controversy, "I'm sorry for drawing Jinbei shirtless," referring to this character. This is the response more artists should have to these unhinged weirdos on Twitter. Just make fun of them and don't apologize. Just keep going about your day and do your thing, because these people will screech and cry, but they're all bark and no bite. They're not going to do anything, and they're going to continue to consume One Piece despite giving threats over some of the animations contained within it. So here's another example of how unbelievably hypocritical these people are. So this larger account says, "Toei got no shame." And of course, those are screenshots of the fan service of Bonnie contained within the latest episode. And then just one day later, they tweet this. It's a quote of the artist, and they say, "People harassing this guy for simply doing his job gotta be the biggest losers the world has ever seen." Yeah, they switched up real quick. They have absolutely no shame. If this isn't proof of how hypocritical and just disingenuous these people are, I don't know what else is. It's really just sad to see. Now, another development happening during this is some other communities on Twitter are now trying to cancel each other. They're offended that people are attacking One Piece for the Bonnie fan service. Now they're trying to accuse other famous mangakas and creators of anime of being the same way. And they targeted, for some reason, Bleach and used some disingenuous screenshots and words here to try to paint the creator as some sort of a bad person. And they actually got community noted, which is an increasingly popular thing to see on tweets about anime, which is a great thing. We should be fact-checking these people making these outrageous claims. And they clarified that this character is not a minor, and this picture is posted to basically confuse the user into thinking something that's not true. And there's also a very good point other people have raised, like this user saying, "Y'all bitches freak out about this 24/7, referring to the Bonnie fan service, "on this damn app, especially when it involves Japanese anime, yet y'all don't go crazy when Western animation sorta does the same thing, but in reverse. Case in point, Monster Girl from Invincible. Xenophobes, man." I mean, that's kind of what it is, right? We always talk about this. Why is there so much hostility towards Japanese media, but never Western media? It's never on the same level. And I always say, I mean, what else could it be than xenophobia? Just using an excuse to attack both anime and Japanese culture any chance Twitter users get. It's all laced in xenophobia. But this is another situation where Twitter users are being Twitter users and treating fictional characters like they're real and treating real people like absolute garbage. And it's not surprising to see, but it's still disappointing to see, because there's people being harassed and slandered over the most mundane and, at the end of the day, pointless stuff you will ever see. But that's going to do it for this video. Please share all of your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.